Seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First play from scrimmage, Newton going to throw it. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 30 yards there.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton on the move to his left. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row. First down. To throw is Newton. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
Now Newton. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Brian Burns, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. They snap it to Newton. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Nobody ever wants the interception on the opening drive to happen, but when it happens in the playoffs, it feels like it's a bigger deal. What a rough start.
And how about these visitors? The defense just went right on the field and seized momentum. You know, almost like they're saying, okay, no one expects us to win this one. Let's go ahead and give them a shock early. Took the ball from the home team and put them in the hole.
Because this crowd, one of the best in the league, especially this time of year, it's going to be tough to take them out of it, but that's a heck of a start. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Mayfield. Hit as as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On third down, Mayfield taking a shot here for Marshall. And it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And some space here. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down to the 40-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's third and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. Play action, it's Newton. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The lines move there, look like nobody open, now second down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now it's Newton. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The kick by Bass is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame charge. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
From the 29, Mayfield. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. 7 yards there and a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Mayfield to throw it. For Marshall, that's complete. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
At the 39-yard line.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Off left tackle, it's McCaffrey. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Mayfield on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. From 13 yards out. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Newton. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brings up 3rd down.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And while it's highly unusual for NFL teams to think about using their quarterback on key 3rd down runs, none of those teams, save one, has Cam Newton. He's unique, one of the biggest quarterbacks you'll ever see. Give him the ball, let him pick it up.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
At the 41-yard line.
They fake the give. Newton. That'll be caught. It's Rager. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, Newton. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
Makes the score Panthers 14, Vikings 3.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn. Now Cook hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Mayfield rolling to his right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But in that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Good.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Let's go.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of the drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Terrace Marshall, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd and 4. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball.
Now a hit and a loose football, and the Panthers have recovered.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium, but you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down to the 36. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
They're a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the Vikings 28-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. They'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Touchdown! Christian McCaffrey from 19 yards away. And the Panthers continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Vikings 3.
Out out as the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
In motion comes the tight end left. 2nd and 5 now. Newton. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
20.
On first down, it's Newton. And his throw here's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton, middle of the field to Jefferson. And they're going to get this up to midfield. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Cam Newton all alone. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing is Newton. Pass caught by the running back, Dalvin Cook. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have bucked the trend so far. Sterling performance to this point. On the road, no less, in the wild card round. And they look to finish things off here in this 4th quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Mayfield looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Moran. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 11. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Mayfield now. He finds his man, complete. That's Moran. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find the yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 72 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.